Everybody, this is Pam at the Paper Outpost, and today I wanted to explore with you the idea of adding some personal stuff into your journals. No, I don't mean undies, no. I mean, what if we decided to hand paint some flowers and do it all wrong? Yep, I mean break all the flower painting rules, or you could paint anything. I'm just using flowers as an example. Let's do it all wrong, and maybe everything's going to come out all right. Okay, so let's do this. So here I am. I'm working on this big tome journal, and it's not finished yet, but just still working away. And I did a little hand-painted flower in the corner. And I wanted to show you how you can do this too very easily, and you don't have to be an artist. But if you want to give some personal flair, personal attention to your pages, you could do a little flower in a corner. So here's an example of one little flower. And here she is, being all flower-like and everything. You know, nothing Rembrandt, but you know, it's mine. And I had fun at it. And where I broke the rules with this was, guess what I painted it on? I just painted it on a journal page. This is regular copy paper. And yes, guess what? It bled through to the back. The paper got wrinkly and it went all wonky pants, but I'm going to show you how we can work with that. So what I want to just toss out there is that you can paint on paper that's not watercolor paper. It can happen, it can be okay, and you can even get decent results. So let's try this, because I don't know what kind of papers you use in your journals, but I use a myriad of many, I got no room here, hang on. Different kinds of papers: book pages, music pages, graph paper, you know, blue paper, calendar paper, coffee dyed paper, created paper from book little bits, you know, that kind of stuff, all sorts of random. So I want to paint on all of it. Okay, so let me show you another one. And I'm going there's going to be an easy trick to this. So if you're not an artist at all, you can jump right in and have as much fun as everybody else. So don't worry about that. Okay, and let me just show you one other little flower I did. Where are you? Now, it would have been nice if I marked it. Okay, here it is. Okay, here's the other little flower. And this one, I had a piece of, not a piece, it's one of those diploma things without the diploma in it, kind of cardstock thick, but I went ahead and I just did my little flower there in the corner, looking very innocent and cute. Lots of fun, and it's kind of a nice little touch that you can put inside a journal, something hand-painted. And let's do this. Okay, so I'm gonna, in this journal, I'm gonna put one, I have 4 signatures, and I'm gonna put one little hand painting in each of the 4 signatures. So let's go into signature number 3, and let's just find, there's a potential page. That's a nice white page. Oh, look at that, it's another diploma certificate page. I don't know, I pick up goofy papers whenever I can find them, because they just intrigue the heck out of me, and I love the different textures. But let's keep looking for a page, any old page. This is kind of a pretty page. Okay, this is regular copy paper. Yes, it is, and it's been coffee dyed. So let's paint on that. Yay, why not, right? Okay, now what I'm going to paint with today is I am going to use some, let me just show you what we're using. And first of all, you can use regular watercolor, not a problem. I just happen to have my watercolor, what have I got here? Yeah, everything's going everywhere. Watercolor pencils, and you don't have to use these. Okay, some of these are Inktense pencils. Prisma color pencils is actually what I used. Let me just show you one. I am not sponsored by any of these companies. I just like the product. I used it. Actually, you know, everybody said you got to use these, so I went and bought those. That's how it happened. But I find like I'll use anything I have, whether it's expensive or inexpensive. You just need some color, some pigment, okay? And I spent way too much on these holders, and they're not that functional. I think I spent 40 bucks on these holders, and they have like double flaps. Don't buy these. I mean, it's great in concept, but it's kind of awkward, and I think it's overpriced. Anyway, there you go. There's the truth. So just a watercolor pencil. This was a basic watercolor pencil for me. And then what else do I have here? Oh, I also have these. I have used these a little bit. I have these Artesia water pencils. Now this is kind of neat because the whole pencil is the watercolor pigment, where the Prismacolor, just the inner skinny piece, is the watercolor. So there's a lot of watercolor here to work with. Maybe we'll work with the Artesia today because I worked with the other ones. the other time. So those were pretty intense, and these were the Prisma colors if you're curious. Yep, there you go. And let me turn on the, hang on, I'm going to turn on the light a little better. Oop, I think I just took a picture. Okay, hang on. Is that better? I don't know. I hope so. Okay, so here's the trick. And it's not really much of a trick, but okay, where was our page we were going to do? Here it is. Okay, I just grabbed a stencil with some big stencil-y things in it. So this one is, it's got flowers on it. And I thought, well, that kind of works. Doing a foresty themed journal here. So let's pick one. Here's 3 little flowers. How about that? We'll do you guys in the corner. Okay, so the trick was with the pencil, I thought I could be totally wrong about this, but hey, you never know until you try. I'm going to take this pencil. Can you see? No, not at all. Sorry. Repositioning. There we go. Okay, now we're in business. This Artesia woodless watercolor pencil. I'm going to try and link that down below if I don't have it. Okay. Or in my Amazon shop if they put it on there. I don't know. But if you don't know about this pencil sharpener, I think this is the world's best pencil sharpener. I've tried a lot, and this one, it's kind of weird the way it works, but let me show you. You can get, you pull it out, okay? You put it in, and then it stops, but you got to squeeze, and then it goes through. Oh, can't see. You can't see. Okay, you put it, squeeze, it goes through, and then in. Okay, now it's really in there, and it holds it for you. You don't even have to hold it. 1, 2, and then I check to see if that's sharp enough, and it sharpens it pretty fast. So maybe I'll just leave it there. I think that's deep enough. Oh, pencil shavings everywhere. Okay, so getting to the point here. All right. The point is, having a point allows you to go in and use your stencil. Let me get closer. Whoop, as a stencil. And you don't have to be like super amazing about this. You can go around pretty fast, especially if you got a pretty big stencil. Just go in there. You're just kind of doing a basic outline, which is called stenciling. And the nice thing is this is actually watercolor pigment you're putting down, and this stuff is going to move when you add water to it. And then we can just play. So look at this, like within like what, 30 seconds? I am an artist without any skill, doing everything wrong on copy paper, for gosh sakes. There, okay, so I have a base, right? I have something that I can play with. Then you grab a brush, any old brush. I don't know, there's probably correct brushes to grab. And I grabbed something that I think is gonna work well in the space size that I have. So I was playing with 2. Whoop. Hang on. Something's on the floor. Hold on. It's a watercolor pencil, okay. And I don't know where the other one went, but I'll just pop those over there. Oh, there it is. I grabbed these 2, like a skinny one and like a one with a little bit of a fatty end on it, so I could do some painting. Okay, so now what you can do is just start painting right at this moment, or you can add a little bit more color. You have your basic shape, and let's say I just want to add a little bit more color. So maybe around the edges, I'm just going to add a little bit more. Maybe we just kind of think about what we think the flower might look like. And you can go lightly and it'll move, I think, easier. And maybe the edges of the petals have a little bit more red on this particular flower, because that's the way they came. That's the way they were originally designed. And so I'm just laying down pigment. I'm laying down watercolor pigment. You could just paint this in with your brush too if you don't have a watercolor pencil, no big deal. Maybe here a little bit. Okay, just smooshing it around a little bit. Doesn't have to be exact, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That's one thing I want to emphasize, which is kind of nice because, you know, we don't always be stuck in the world of perfect. Okay, let's grab a green. And sometimes, okay, here's also breaking all the rules and not knowing what we're doing. Just using a few multiple colors in, like maybe coloring your leaves half green. I outlined mine in red. I have no idea why it just happened. I didn't know a leaf from a petal at the moment. I guess this is a leaf as well. And I don't really color well in the line, so that's why this technique works well. Let me take you even closer. Why not? We're here. We're friends. Come on in. Doop. Okay, there we go. And now I'm going to take something that I think maybe just a lighter version of the same color, and maybe we're just going to put that here. I'm just going to do that. There we go. Just putting some of that there, some of that there as a base down. Okay. Oh, I like these. These are actually not that bad. I get some yellow. The hardest thing is getting it out of the case. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to lay down some yellow. Maybe there's like lots of yellow in the middle of the flower. I don't know, because it could be. Some flowers might be like that. And if you don't like color it exactly right, it's okay, because watercolor is very forgiving that way, because you know, it looks really like the 2-year-old drew it, and then you put water on it, and it looks like Leonardo came and sprinkled some magic fairy dust in your general direction, and it's not bad. Okay, I'm not going to say it's great, but it's not bad. I could at least say that. I feel like I'm missing a dot here, and I'm just going to add one. How about that? Just going to add one. I'm probably going to do a lot of other goofy things with that too, but let's just see. Okay, so I have my water, my dirty and my clean. I know it all looks dirty, but dirty and clean. So rinse in the dirty, rinse in the clean, and then daub on something to absorb the moisture, whether it's a paper towel, a napkin, your shirt. I'm going to use this cloth. Okay. So into the dirty, into the clean, because I was already using this. Wash. Oh, I still have stuff on there. Scrub it off. So yeah. So lots of rules being broken here, probably doing everything wrong, but just having fun. Number one, I'm using a stencil. Number two, I'm doing this on coffee dyed copy paper. You know, who does that? Nobody. Okay, here we go. Adding the water. Oh, let me go zoom in here. Closer. Okay, see, now it's already starting to change things just because I'm adding a little bit of water. Too much water, not enough water, you're going to find out real fast how quickly your paint moves. And I'm probably going to oversaturate it at first, because it's not good to use too much water when you're using watercolor pencils, I believe. So I'm going to go ahead and use too much water and see what happens. Yeah. All right. Because, you know, tools and pigments are just tools and pigments. I mean, we can learn from each other the good ways to do things, but we also have to remember that that's only one take on something. And maybe there are other ways to use our tools and our you know, toys. I want to call them toys, really, because that's what they are. It feels like toys to me. Okay, when I touch the red, it's going to blossom, and then it's going to bleed down into the yellow a bit. And I have like way too many things right above my paint. I need shorter paintbrushes, I think. Okay, so I'm just adding water, and as you can see, not really thinking too much about it. Just putting a little bit of water down, dragging it in the direction of the center of the petal. Oh, I think I did this one backwards. Oh, well, we'll just do that. And we can fix it. Okay, so we have this cool little bleed out there. Okay, that was unexpected and just happened, but I think it's kind of neat. Okay, so now at this point, what's that? Is that a petal or is that a flower? A petal. Oh, I think it's a petal, because these have 5. That might have 5. So let me do a little more in there. Oh, another thing you're supposed to not do is dip your pencil into the water. That's very bad. Don't ever do that. Why? I don't know. But somebody said don't do it. So here we're going to do it. So if you're really expensive stuff and you're playing with it, you probably don't want to do this. Okay, I'm just saying. But if you did, or you can watch to see if I do it, what happens. Okay, so there I have a petal. All right, so basically it liquefies. What I'm finding with the woodless one, it's liquefying the watercolor. It's just making a little daub. If you do it with the wooded ones, you might crack, I think the deal is you might crack the wooden shell, and that would be bad for everybody concerned, because I guess horrible things will happen. So, you know, paint police might come to your door. Okay, so let's, another thing you can do, which is probably not recommended at all anywhere, but I've done it, is, oh, let me back out a little bit. Okay, over here, if you're like, you don't want to put down a whole lot, scribble on something like a piece of paper or your well-used and well-loved mat, And, oh goodness, the creaks and the cranks. Oh, there's my paint. Can you see it? It's right there, right there. You can use that. Oh, let me get the skinny pen. So here it is. Got the skinny brush. Where is it? Can you see it? There it is. And I'm dipping it in the clean, the dirty and the clean. And then I can just like liquefy this and it'll become watercolor paint. Okay. So now I have a little palette almost using my mat as a palette. So you can do that. Okay. Let me go here. Okay. So this is actually creating interesting blooms on the, because there's coffee in there. So I'm going to put a little pink here, getting more of that. Okay. I've got pink going everywhere here. Maybe there's more pink here, like where the flower kind of pulls down into itself. So I'm going to put a little pink there. And, yep. Another thing with watercolor, you're not supposed to overwork the paper because you'll pill it. And I'm going to go ahead and overwork this paper because I'm breaking all the rules today. At least these rules are being broken, and I'd rather you watch me do it in one of my journals than you do it in one of yours first. Now you don't have to do it in your journal first. You could do this on a piece of paper, but I am feeling pretty wild and dangerous today, and I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. So here I am. I'm just painting, but not really knowing what this flower is supposed to look like in real life. But I'm just going, okay, I need more pink. Need more, get more down there. Okay. All right, here we go. Doing the same thing. I'm just picking it up off my mat. Okay, here. And so here you could just start having fun, and you're not in the lines. You're not worried too much if you stay in the lines, and that's okay. Okay, so now, what do you have? So, okay, so we got some color going. That's kind of cool. And we've got different shading, and that's just sort of happening magically. Don't quite know how it did, but it just did. And I've got fuchsia paint everywhere. And on my shirt, I'm waiting for it, of course. Okay, so now let's do some intensifying. Okay, now I'm just going to hold my pencil. And since I dipped it, it's still kind of wet. So I'm just going to take the color right off of here. And that, I think, is allowed and encouraged in the watercolor world. I'm just going to paint some strokes from the center of the little petals out. Maybe a little more water. And that's going to give me more concentrated color. Doesn't have to be perfect. Would be nice if it was, but hey, the odds of that, really low here. Really low. Low expectations. Hopefully high reward. Okay, so the stencil gives you the comfort feeling. I'm hoping that, you know, the basic flower shape, you can just get past that, because a lot of people get intimidated just drawing the flower, and I don't want you to get stuck there, because I think that you're going to find that the actual watercoloring of it is easier than the drawing of the shape of it, and I would like you to get on with the watercolor of it and have some fun, because watercolor is really a lot of fun, and you don't need, well, I don't think you need expensive stuff. You can get expensive stuff, of course you can, and it will make a difference in what your pictures look like in the long run. But if it's something very simple for the corner of a page, and you just want to add a little bit of a hand painted personal accent. Okay, I'm using this little flatty brush now. Okay, what is it? It's a Craftamo number 3, if anybody's wondering. Okay, here I'm going in, dirty, clean, dabbing on the thing. And now I'm going to take those places that I accented, and I'm just going to drag them out a little more. I'm adding a little water to the watercolor. That's right, this one. I'm overworking the paper, totally overworking the paper and the paints and the color. And probably not supposed to do any of that, but we're doing it. What is happening to the other side of my page? I will show you, because it's probably a huge disaster. And this has happened to me before. I'm like, oh, I can paint on here. There's no problem, right? Well, there is. See how I went out of the box there? That's okay. You know why? Because it's watercolor, and everything for some reason is forgiven in the watercolor world. Okay, let's back up a little bit and see what's going on the other side. It's coming through. Oh, you can't see. It's coming through. How awesome is that? Okay, we'll go over what to do with that. Okay, so now we have this little guy. We're still working on him. Oh, we haven't colored our leaves yet. Yes. Okay, so let's take our number 3. I don't know why it's a number 3. It's just a number 3. I don't know if that's universal, like all number 3s are the same, or is it set specific? I don't know. Just give me a brush and I'll paint with it. And maybe one day I'll learn all that stuff. Okay. It's just look at the watercolor professional there. Yes, all the little colors are dissolving together. And you can leave some white spots, and you can also go outside of the line, break away, and go big. Yeah, you can go big here. Go as big as you want. And sometimes the initial thing that you put down will leave the mark of the shape of the leaf, or sometimes you're going to give it a new shape by extending it a little bit. Okay, and that's perfectly fine. Now let's say these little, all right, you little doodads in the middle, I see you. You want to become bigger. Yes, we want to become bigger. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little water. I just wet my brush, my little, what number is this? I don't know. Let me look. It's a 1. Okay, and go ahead and just adding the color. Okay, but now I want a little more fancy woohoo, haha. I'm going to come in with my yellow again. Okay, no, see how I don't take care of my things. That's right. There's like green on my yellow. Is that going to stop me? No. Of course not. Okay, I'm going to rinse. Dirty water, clean water, wipe, 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 wipe. Okay, dip again because it's a little dry. And wet this up. Actually, I might do the wrong thing again. Okay, I'm going to dip in the water with this. Oh, don't tell anybody. I did it, and it's wet. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to make some more dots. I just want some yellow dots to be there as well, because there's like pollen and stuff going on with these flowers. And some of it's yellow. Maybe a bee walked by and sat. You know, he could leave a yellow imprint. And just put some more color in there. Okay, I'm kind of liking that. Maybe I want some yellow to show. Now you can take your watercolor pencil and draw over a darker color. You're probably not supposed to do that. Maybe because you'll get that darker color on here. But I'm doing it. I'm going to put some yellow in the leaves. Give them a little more yellow. Maybe there's like a yellow side to the leaf. And you can decide whether you're going to add water to that or not. It's totally up to you. You can also use your, I guess the number 1 skinny one as a little bit of an outliner. So now bring your makeup skills here. All right, this will require eyeliner skills. No. Actually, I'm just going to do some dots. I'm just going to do there's nothing like a little random dotteroo. I don't know why, it just makes everything look so much more artistic. It's like you had this master plan of the design of this flower. I'm literally just painting off of this. Okay, this is just like my little hard piece of watercolor. And I'm just putting some dotties down. Sometimes they fade a bit because they blend in. Because again, breaking all the rules, maybe not waiting for stuff to dry or wanting it to blend in. So doing it purposefully while it's wet, it all works. And then you can do things that make no sense, like put some dots around the side of a leaf for no reason. But for some reason, let's say your leaf didn't come out perfectly straight. You can fool the eye. We're totally doing trompe-l'oeil here, right? Yeah, this is how not to do trompe-l'oeil. We are putting dots to make ourselves look super artistic when we're really not. Okay, all right. So that's just giving some flair. And you can even do it around a few petals if you want. Okay? All right, you know, maybe there's some things going on with this. It's got some greenery around it or something in the background. We don't know. We don't know what this is, but dots are our watercolor friend. They can enhance and make things just look a little bit fuller and richer and bring out something that wasn't there before. I don't even know how to describe it, but don't forget about the dots. They're fun to play with. Now, something like this, you could technically connect the flowers as if they were all coming from one bunch. Like maybe there's a little stem going there And maybe there's a little stem going there. And maybe there's something else going that way. We don't know because it's gone. And maybe something there. And this, like the illusion, we can make this illusion. You have to say it like that. The illusion of connectivity. And you don't have to connect these things. This is just whimsical stuff. So it's perfectly okay if it's not connected. But I'm just having fun at this point. This makes no sense. Okay, so there we go. So we have another little hand-painted watercolor in the corner. And if you want to, you can emphasize the edges. Here's a cool little trick. If you want to take it one little step further, you can make your flowers look like they're curling back in on themselves. If you just take the dry one, here's a dry woodless watercolor thing, and you do this shape. Yeah, it's kind of like an upside down not Herman Munster. What's the kid's name? Who has the pointy hair? Like vampire hair, but upside down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There we go. I don't really, what's his name? Eddie Munster. There we go. And it makes all of a sudden my dog's snoring. Oh, hang on. Can you hear that? Sonny? Oh, I'm so sorry I disturbed you. Were you snoring? No, it wasn't you? No, I totally mistook. It's somebody else. Okay. Yeah, I'm totally sure it was somebody else, Sonny. You go back to sleep. You know, for a little guy, he's got attitude. He does. Okay. I completely forgot what we were doing. I'm going to have to go rewatch my video again. Okay, I was doing dimension. Right, yeah. See how it looks like the flower is starting to curl up and in? So you can do that. You do your Eddie Munster hairline. And then you're all of a sudden like a super artist. Yeah, it's really kind of cool. You don't have to do the whole edge either. You could do like part of it, like here, just to there, because maybe only that part is curling over. Yeah. And maybe here. Okay. And maybe you want to do here. Eddie Munster. Eddie Munster. They teach the Eddie Munster flower petal curling over technique, I'm sure, in the Louvre. Yep. Okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah. And just color it in. And here's the other thing. You don't have to add water. You can just use this to emphasize or highlight or do something like that. Maybe I want more yellow inside. Oh, that's really yellow. Okay, that's okay though. I scared myself there. All right. Yeah, put a little yellow in there. Okay. Now I feel like I need more red. Okay, gotta put it back there. A little more red here. So yeah. Okay. In. Okay. There we go. All right. Don't overdo it, Pam. All right. So, and you don't have to do all the petals like that, but maybe you just want to do the top ones or something. You know, I don't know. Whatever you gets excited about, but just do a few little oddball Eddie Munsters. You'd be surprised how all of a sudden you've got all this really cool dimension. Yeah. And so this is damp paper, I would say I'm working on. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So let me just back out so you can see what on earth we've done. What on earth have we done? Okay. So maybe I could do a little more. Okay. So there you go. A little hand-painted hoo-ha in the corner just for fun. All right. You want to do another one? Okay. Let's do one more. And so really, if you have any intimidation about this at all, just get a piece of paper and do it on that first and just get a little bit of confidence up on, and then I'll show you what to do on the backside, because all the backsides go, because this is why they tell you don't do it on watercolor. And see, I'm even getting it over here, and oh my God, that's a disaster. Well, the smart thing would be put a piece of paper between, or some kind of plastic or something, or a separator so that doesn't happen. But it happens, so let's see how we're going to get out of that. But I'm going to, you know what, maybe I should show you those now before we paint one more, because I'm just watching the time. Okay, so the first one where I had some bleed through, here's my bleed through, here's my flower. Okay, I'm going to use the age-old technique of cover it up. That's right, I'm going to cover it up. Okay, here we go. I'm going to cover it up by putting just a pocket or a tuck or something like that in the corner that I probably would put there anyway, because I love to stuff these babies. And let me just ink up my corners. What am I using? What was that? What? This is walnut stain. Yeah. Why? Because it's here. Yep. I think I showed you the other day how you can use instant coffee, super concentrated in a little cup. Just put a little bit of water, mix it around, make a nice thick pastaroo, and you have got basically, you know, ink. Okay, so we can just put that there, and voila! Whoop, you can't see. Back up. Let me move everything here. Okay. All right. There we go. Okay. Okay. There we go. Okay. So there we go. Very nice. Let's just glue that pup in while we're talking about it. Here's my homemade glue stand. Very functional. Not cute, but it works. There we go. There we go. There we go. I think I have to work on my cuteness factor. My drawers aren't cute. My glue dispenser's not cute. I don't even have the cute little pins with all the little danglies and the pearls and the pretties hanging from them. No, I got this stuck in the bottom. And actually the glue that oozed out over time is what I use as the stopper, the natural stopper. Let me see if you can see in there so I can show you. It's not pretty, but can you see? Let me see. See? Yeah, okay. Back in. All right, so it's like it never happened, and there you go. And let's look at the other one and see what atrocity I created there. There should be a number 2. Okay. This one actually is not a bleed through, or is it a bleed through? It could be a bleed through. Okay, so what are you going to do about that, Pam? Huh? What are you going to do about that? Well, you could, let's see, I know. We could get a, hang on, grab a scrap. Maybe it's time to grab a scrap. Yep, we're going to call this grab a scrap. And I have this scrap of questions, and I'm just going to take a question, like how do you make the most, and we don't know what the rest of it was, but I think that's kind of cool. Probably should have used up a different color a little bit, but that's, you know how we can make it a different color? We'll just make it a different color. Yeah. I wonder if I can use the watercolors for that. Probably with a Q-tip. Let's try that. I have a Q-tip. I have my watercolor. Probably going to drop everything on the paper before I'm ready. Okay, I'm using this as a paintbrush to ink the edge. Oh, this could take 100 years, but it'll work. Oh, can't see. It does work. So if you're looking for an alternative inking something or other, a Q-tip. Let's soak this better. Get in there. Okay. And around. Try not to touch it. Okay. I'll probably touch it. I know. All right. And 100 years later, this will be done. But hey, I don't have this color ink. That's kind of cool. Kind of intense, a little different. All right. So now when that's all dry, which will be 50 years from now, but we're not going to wait that long. We're just going to grab our glue stick. Also unsponsored. Just love the glue. Okay, here we go. Okay, there we go. I have that now. Yes, see? And you can go from there. You could also put a corner tuck, like a triangular corner tuck in here and tuck something there. Or just a little surprise, or maybe you could put a sticker or something like that. So you have options. That's what I did. Nothing too fancy pants, but it handles the issue in case it happens. And I did a third one, right? Yeah, I did the one I showed you. Okay, so let me find that one. It was on a coffee dyed paper. I'm remembering that. What's all coming back to me now? It's all, oh, it wasn't too far in. There it is. There's our little thing. Yeah. And back you up a little bit so you can see the whole page. Okay, so that looks kind of pretty, huh? Unexpected, surprise. I think I want to put these lines in here a little stronger. So you can come in, you can actually color with these as if they are as if they are colored pencils, because they are colored pencils. You can actually use them both ways. They get activated with water, which is kind of cool. Okay, I should probably be doing green here. I don't know why I'm doing it, just did it. Maybe I just do a lot of these, like there's like a big network of viney connection things going on back here. Oh, it didn't connect you. Okay, there we go. Okay. Yeah. All right, so now we're like a little connected flower. That's kind of cool. I like that. I like that. Okay, so we've got the dots. We've got all sorts of stuff. Let's turn the page and see what a situation we have is. Look at that. And we have some carryover. Look at that. What are you going to do about that? Zoom in. All right. Well, okay, let's try this. Let's try using this and not fighting it. Let's try and use what's there. So I'm gonna take, call me crazy, I don't know, this is probably super crazy. I got a couple ideas. One involves a pencil, just a regular pencil. I don't know if this is gonna work. We're gonna try it together. Okay, here we go. We're gonna work with the design. I can see the outline of the flowers, and I'm just gonna emphasize the outline of the petals just a little bit more where they were. I'm try and recreate the flowers here, not being too exact, just some little fluffy lines, giving some edging. Okay, and I'm not going to add water this time. I'm just going to draw a dry thing, and I'm just going to follow the shape of the petals that are there. And so this is called, yet again, creating something from nothing. This is what we gave ourselves to work with. That's just the way it was, okay? And let's see how we're doing with that. Maybe I'll put the toppers on, go a little roughy at the top, because they're kind of roughy at the top. All right, okay. And so we have the afterglow here. And maybe here's where you want to grab some regular pencil crayons. I know, I keep calling them that. That's like probably a Canadian thing. Colored pencils. We have colored pencils. Now these are regular Prisma color, but I think you can use any colored pencil. So I'm going to put the dotties that we don't have there. Now these are going to be a little different color. These are more like a soft pink and a yellow. Now notice this color and then notice those colors. Interesting, huh? Yeah, kind of more red and intense. And here we have the pastel version on the back side, which I think is kind of cool, I don't know, I'm digging it. Now I'm just going to emphasize maybe the base where it flares out from the center. Did I say I wasn't going to do, no, I said I wasn't going to add any water. That's what I said. Okay, right. I'm just emphasizing a little bit around where the center of the petal meets all the pistil and stamen stuff, and just increasing the intensity of that a little bit. That one went weird. Okay, it just look better. Now, I cannot add water. These will not blend. All right. Okay, are we getting enough light? Is it good? Okay, better? Okay. So that's kind of pretty, and it, I don't know, I've got this funny feeling like I want to add a little gold. Yeah, I know, right? That's insane. This should probably be the last brush I do this with. Don't do that. That's going to ruin your, I don't know, let's just do it. Okay. So now we have the accuracy of the gold. Maybe... oh, how about we do this? That's pretty. Okay. Isn't it funny how I decide this is pretty? Like, who's to say? It's in the eye of the beholder, Pam. They will decide for you whether this is pretty or not. You can let me know whether this was like a disaster or this was something worth exploring. Are you going to do it in your journal? Or are you going to do it on a piece of paper first and practice? Or are you running for the hills going, I still don't paint, I'm not painting, I'm never going to paint, it's not going to happen, stop trying to encourage me to paint. And with that sewing, you're trying to getting me to sew too and paint, and I don't want to sew and paint, I just want to cut and glue paper. And that's okay, that's okay. But I just wanted you to know that if you do want to play with, these are just tools. Remember, tools and supplies are our toys to play with. This is our sandbox. And, you know, the rest of life can be all super intense and have all those issues and everything. But right here, right now, we can get goofy and try some crazy things. All right. Okay. Again, not Rembrandt, but kind of cool, huh? Is that showing up on the shiny side? Yeah, it's kind of grooving it, right? Yeah. Now, I have not connected these flowers. What? You say you must connect them? In order to be whole? Okay. Okay, so how am I going to do that? I don't even have any leaves on this one, sort of, maybe there. I guess I could emphasize that leaf a little bit. And here's a bit of a leaf here too. Okay. And there was, I'm going to pretend like there was something over here. Okay, it's not really there anymore, but that's okay. Maybe we'll just connect these any which way. Shoot some connections. Don't know what I'm doing really, just connecting stuff that probably doesn't need to be connected. Okay, so now we have a little connection there. Maybe I'm gonna, I have a little gold left on here. I'm just gonna smoosh it into this leaf. Okay, there we go. What time is it? Oh my God, it got away on me. You know what that means? Apparently was having fun. Yep. You guys make me have fun all the time. I hope you're having fun too. And let's just do a little gold on that leaf, and maybe we're gonna do a hue here. Let's do a little bit of the green. Okay, and where's that pink? That pink was pretty. We'll just do like a, maybe it's a bud. Maybe it's not even a leaf. Maybe that's a bud. Yeah, I could have buds. Why not? I could turn my leaves into buds. You can too. You can change at any moment the entire plan for your picture. Now I've got some buds. They're not leaves, they're buds. Okay, this might be it. This is an early bud. It doesn't even have any pink on it yet. Yeah, it's just all leafy, buddy glory. All right, so you have 2 paintings for the price of 1. And it was started with stencils, and you don't have to be good at it. You can also use your Eddie Munster curl over technique, like we did here, to show your petals are curling in, and that will work. So you don't actually have to cover. You can use what you have and just make that the starting point for your design. And what else do we have here? Okay, we have this. We want to know what to do about that. Let's see, what are we working with? We're working at this, just got a little bit colored. We've got some torn book page here, which is kind of cool. I like that. Let's just work with that. Okay. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, I'm just going to work with the tear. I don't want to tear your head off. And sometimes the best thing, did I hear? Oh, getting close. Better veer off that way. There, we have you. Okay. We still have a little something there, but let me see if maybe if I edge this up. Kind of come around like that. Maybe even edge the bottom a little bit. Oh, you can't see it. Can you just like make a noise? Well, I know you can't see. I'm doing the best I can here. Okay, here we go. All right, so now there's like still a little colorage there, but instead of fighting that, I've got, this is my pink dauber. Maybe I'm just going to add some more pink. I'm going to hue it. Yeah, I'm going to add a color hue, blend that in, and not fight it. And I'm just going to maybe take another color. What other color was in there? Yellow? I don't have a yellow, but I do have a yellow pencil crayon. All right, let me see what I can do with that. I have no idea here. Okay, this is like a soft one. And let me just kind of hue on this. I'm going to hue on it and see what happens. Is it even going on there? I don't know. I can't tell. This is such a light color, but it kind of matches the color in this guy. I don't think anything's happening. Let's try this guy. This is an actual watercolor. It's a Prisma watercolor, Sunburst yellow. And maybe I'm just going to make some nice yellow marks around the edges. Not everywhere, just some places. And I'm just going to use this as a bit of a aging, weathering technique. Like maybe the bird was chewing on the page because he wanted to use this for part of his nest. That's what he did. He wanted to use it for part of his nest. He was tearing at it. And so he had a little juicy beak full of colors and stuff like that. I'm smearing. I have no idea why. But like I said, you can just go in there and layer on a little color and make it appear as if it was all intentional. And maybe in the long run it was, because it was meant to happen. That's the way I look at it. It wasn't like you're trying to cover it up and fake somebody out. It's you took what you had and you worked on it and took it to a new place. Let me show that a little closer so you can see. Whoop, that was the wrong button. And closer. Okay. So yeah, just kind of as if some small animal came along and nibbled on the edges and wiped its lips on there. But you know, I think that goes with the ratty-tatty. Whoop, what are you doing in the way? Okay, the ratty-tatty, you know, old hidden forest mystery theme. You just never know what you're going to find in the forest. So I hope you had fun today, and I've certainly yapped your ear off today. I hope this was something intriguing, maybe taking you in a new direction, some other things, other ways to look at things, very commonplace things. And I want you to always know in your heart that you don't have to be a super artist in order to have fun and do personal painting or personal touches in your art, in your junk journals, because they do add a special quality. And remember, in the imperfections lies the visual struggle. And that is there, that can be embraced when you actually see the work somebody did, somebody put in effort and energy and attempted and tried. And let's say for some reason you really don't like this, you come on along, you glue another pocket on there and you keep going. So there's a lot of ways around this and through this, but I hope you embrace it and give it a try, because it really is a lot of fun. I think you'll have a lot of fun, and you don't need expensive watercolors. You can use, you know, El Cheapo watercolors from the Dollar Tree, or you know, stuff you find in Hobby Lobby or Michael's and things like that. So if you find value here, please like, subscribe, and share. Please click the notification bell to be notified of up and coming videos. I do my videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. I have a podcast which comes out Tuesday and Thursday, which is new material, all related to junk journals and crafting. And I have a free monthly emailed newsletter. You get a free digital image, a checklist of supplies, a note from the bookmaker, junk journal tips and updates from me. I have an Amazon store where I try and put links to the things I use in my video if you're looking for products to find. And you can also search from there for similarly related products. I have an Etsy shop where I put vintage digital kits that I curate and collect and organize and put there for you. And I think I have over 80 right now, and I'm going to be growing that all the time. So you might find something if you cannot find the images you're looking for out there in the world, or you're looking for old vintage ephemera and you find it and it's too expensive, or you don't have the room for it, or you just can't find it. This might be a source for you. And I have a Facebook group. It's called the Paper Outpost FB group. And we're having a lot of fun over there. Come on over and join us. We're being creative, making things, showing each other different ideas, branching off from these videos, and doing weekly and monthly challenges, which are optional and very inspirational place to come and get new ideas. I'm inspired by so many people over there all the time, and we have everybody from beginners to super experts, and everybody sharing and having fun. And we're all just super focused on creating over there. And remember that fun can be simple. And hi from me and the gang. Create with reckless abandon, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.